everyone, and welcome to the Motivation Academy podcast. Every Monday and Friday, we come out with a short and to the point podcast to help transform yourself from who you are now to the person you want to be. My name is Owens, and the podcast starts now. Today I want to talk about how to fail successfully. Now you're probably thinking, you mean there's a way to fail unsuccessfully? Yes, actually there is. Look, you're human, I'm human. We're supposed to fail. That's how we learn. The thing you have to remember is you need to allow yourself to fail, because that's how you get to the point of success at anything you do in life. And you have to allow yourself to understand that it's okay to fail. Look, everybody fails before they succeed at something. Some people learn how to play a sport, but they fail the first time they try. How about the first time you rode a bike? Were you successful the first time you got on the bike, or did you fall? Most of us fall. Well, you had to fail in order to learn. So you didn't skin your knees anymore. You learned how to ride a bike. Well, everything in life is like that. Everything you do is like that. You have to learn, and then you get better at it. And as you learn, you fail a little bit here and there. And as you get better, you fail a little here and there. But eventually along the way, you get better and better and better to a point where the failure becomes very minimal, if any at all. Life is the toughest opponent you will ever have. You will never find a stronger, tougher opponent than life itself. It's always going to kick you in the six. Now, it might be minor, it might be major, and it may only happen a couple of times in your lifetime, and I hope it does. For me, I've had it happen all of my life. And it hasn't always been a big thing. Sometimes it was a little thing. Like, I had a flat tire. Versus losing a job, versus a piece of technology breaking and I have to buy a new one. So it comes and goes in spurts, right? And the thing you have to remember is when you try things in life, you have to allow yourself to try. Because you want to remember one thing, folks. If you don't try, you're never going to know if you can do it or not. It doesn't matter if you're learning how to play an instrument, learning how to ride a bike, learning how to write software code, do oil painting, whatever it is that you're learning to do, or whatever that thing is that you're wanting to go out there and do, allow yourself the chance to try and to fail. Look, a lot of people don't know this, but Thomas Edison failed 2,000 times to invent the light bulb. Did you know his teachers actually told him that he would fail, that he wouldn't succeed? Wow, there's a shocker. Imagine that. Someone who wants to burst your bubble who doesn't think you can do something. None of us have ever heard of that, right? That happens all the time. And the thing that you want to remember too, along the lines of going through the motions in life, learning how to do something, trying to get better at it, is that when you're learning something, not everyone who's learning stuff gets a trophy. Look, none of us gets a trophy simply because we participate. Okay, because if you're one of those who thinks you're going to get a trophy simply because you show up and you participate, you're going to be in for real disappointment. Because out in the real world, that's not how it works. Now think about professional sports. How many athletes who tried over the century or two, of the last 100 years at least, in baseball and football and you name it, tennis, golf, Olympic sports, how many of them have tried and failed before they learned and got really good at it? Are you kidding me? That's virtually everybody. You don't get to the end zone in a football game unless you can successfully run down the field and survive. That's the reality of it. Life is just like that. You have to allow yourself to try things. You have to learn how to do things. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine recently he and I served together in the military. And he was asking me, he said, Eric, how did you get through all those tough times when you're raising your kids? How did you do the things that you did? And I said, well, I didn't really take the time to think about it. I didn't have the luxury of just sitting there going, gee, I wonder how I'm going to make this happen. I wonder, how am I going to pull this off? Are you kidding me? I had 3 kids depending on me. Failure was not an option. I had to have my act together. And if I didn't have the answer, then I took the time to come up with an answer. I got creative. I stepped out of my comfort zone, out of my sandbox. And I thought, okay, if if I don't have the luxury of time of going, well, let's see, I'll try step 1 today, step 2 tomorrow, and oh wait, I'm going to need a little money for that. No. Sometimes you have to shoot off the hip, so to speak. You have to just go with it and see what happens. And a lot of things we do in life are just like that. I mean, when was the last time that you tried, let's say you want to learn an instrument, right? Let's say you want to learn how to oil paint. Maybe you want to learn how to write computer code. I don't know. Whatever it is that you want to go learn how to do. I mean, did you do it and master it in the first time you tried? Well, if you did, then, I don't know, maybe you need to contact Guinness Book of Records or something, because you're definitely not in the percentile of the rest of us. Look, we have to allow ourselves to learn things, and along the way, here's the thing, and along the way, as you fall, just like when you were a kid, you were learning how to ride a bike, remember that, when you fell down? You skin your knee, it hurts, your parents console you, maybe your mom makes you feel a little bit better. You get back up on the bike, you try it again, right? Or did you just give up and say, well, I'm not going to do it anymore? Of course you didn't give up. You wanted to learn how to ride your bike. Why? Because your friends were riding bikes. Because you wanted to be with them. You wanted to go have fun. You don't give up. You never give up. You never ever quit. Or you will never reach the goal. You'll never learn how to ride that bike. You'll never learn how to oil paint. You'll never reach the end zone in that game. You will never achieve the goal unless you're willing to do that. And there's always going to be people who want to, shoot you down. They want to shoot your bubble, burst your bubble, or shoot down your idea, right? We've all experienced that, right? You probably know somebody in your life who's done that. You ever experienced an idea with somebody and then they kind of shoot it down? That's the first thing they do. Instead of saying, hey, that's a great idea, hope that works for you. What do they usually do? Well, they probably say something like, well, you'll never do that. You have to have lots of money. Oh, you'll never do that because it's already been done. Lots of people have already done it. Listen, folks, never ever listen to a bubble burster. Do you ever wonder why it is people are like that? Have you ever thought about that? Let me tell you why they're like that. They're like that because they're insecure with themselves, and in order to feel better about themselves, they want to punish you so that you feel bad enough that you're not going to go try it because you represent a threat to their personal success. They're afraid that if you do it and they don't, I mean, are you kidding me? So what if they feel that way? Just ignore them. They're trying to stop you from doing it. Don't listen to them. Okay? They're jealous. Don't listen to them. Maybe the reason why they're talking that way to you, maybe it's because they didn't want to try. Maybe because they had a dream themselves, but they never went through the motions to acquire it. But you're doing it. So they want to make you feel bad because of it. Forget them. They're jealous. Also remember to bookmark my podcast on SoundCloud. You can reach me on my social media websites on Twitter at author Owens, also on Instagram at Eric Owens Author, or on Facebook at Eric Grant Owens. Also reach me on my website at ericgrantowens.com. Make sure to sign up for my newsletter so that you can keep up to date with my book publishing projects. Thanks for listening.